Hello, Twitch! Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Pokémon Gold. Last time we started our adventure, and made our way over to Violet City to defeat the first gym leader, Faulkner. And this time we are heading off to continue our journey throughout the Johto region. Before I begin, just want to do a quick overview of my team. I did a little bit of grinding on Kale and Jean off stream just to get them a bit stronger for the trials ahead. As you can see, we have Kale, my Chikorita, Jean, my Mareep, Halberd, the Spearow, and Ruby, the Geodude. It's a pretty solid team this early on in the game. We also have an egg, which should hatch this part, maybe. Anyway, it's time that we once again continue our Johto region adventure. The path to Goldenrod is blocked to the west. We can't really progress through the... Well, actually, we can go back to the... Yeah, we actually can go explore the Dark Cave now that we have Flash. I'm gonna teach this to Jean. Just so we have something. So, yep, we'll be heading off to Azalea Town to the south. In a little bit, I just want to quickly show off what's in the Dark Cave, since it's an area we passed the last time we were in this area. One thing I like about the Johto region is that there are a lot of optional areas you can explore here. And you can usually find some good stuff here. Like, there's a lot of exclusive Pokemon. If we use Flash in a dark area, we can light up the cave, allowing us to progress. I mean, you don't really need to use Flash in order to explore here, but it makes things a lot easier. Because then we're not just fumbling blindly. Right, there is a rock that can be broken with an attack we get later on, so we'll save that for later. Yeah, it looks like that's all we can see of the Dark Cave so far. So the Dark Cave is not that interesting of a place this early on in the game. Can't really explore much of it, and there's only a few Pokemon you can encounter here, like this Geodude. You can also encounter Zubat, which is a very good poison flying type, and you also have a rare chance of encountering Dunsparce, a normal type Pokemon that is... Well, it's not bad, but it's not really that good either. Just kind of below average, really. But anyway, that's everything we can do in the Dark Cave right now. Yep, because it's a new day, we can reharvest berries from these trees, which is good. I really do like the time mechanic that was introduced in this game. It really adds a lot to the adventure. Gives a lot of stuff that you can look forward to every day you start up the game. Also makes hunting for certain Pokemon very interesting. Good work, Kale. So, as you can see on the left side of the screen, I actually drew fan art of all the Pokemon on my current team, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. These are all Pokemon that I really like, especially when using in Johto. Just because they have very solid for what we have to deal with in the upcoming fights. And they're all very strong, too. I don't really know if we're really going to see any new team members in the future. It depends on what we find ahead. Because I know I want a water type for this team, but I'm kind of undecided on which one I want. Like, I would really like to use Tentacruel, because it's a very solid attacker and tank. Would also like Wooper, too. Or Slowpoke. There's a lot of good water options in Johto, is what I'm getting at. Let's heal up, and then we will finally leave Violet City. Alright, so we're gonna head south here. Let's take this berry. It's Paralyzed Cure. I'll be heading off to what I believe is Route 32. It's where we caught our little Mareep all that time ago. So while we're heading down this route, I thought I'd just kind of talk about some stuff that's been going on lately. As recently, I've gotten Yoshi's Crafted World, and I think it's a pretty good game. It has a few issues, but I overall just love the aesthetic and the level design. And I also purchased South Park The Fractured But Whole because I saw it was very cheap on Steam lately. And I'm really enjoying that game. I actually played the previous South Park game, The Stick of Truth, and while The Fractured Butthole is a lot different in terms of gameplay, it still captures the feeling of being in the town of South Park, and I still love the characters. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that game. It's been very fun. I've also been playing a lot of Smash Ultimate with my friends, having just a lot of fun with some of the stuff we've been doing. Like, I'm really loving the stage builder they included in the game. While I wish that it started out with the stage builder, I'm perfectly fine with them bringing it out when they did, because it is super fun just messing around and creating all kinds of stages. And also getting to share stages online with people. Just leading to a lot of hilarious circumstances. As usual, I've been working a lot. Actually, I had a pretty exhausting week. And also had a dentist appointment last week. And I'm probably gonna go back to the dentist next week for some fillings, so that's always fun. I don't really mind the dentist too much because they try to take care of you, and I think that's very important for our health. But just kind of concerning for me, considering I have a very extensive history of oral problems. When I was younger, I got a few cavities that needed to be filled. I needed to get my wisdom teeth out. My upper jaw was actually underdeveloped, so I needed some surgery in order to push it forward, in order to help my bite and stuff. So, I don't know, I've just had a very extensive history of just all kinds of oral problems. Whatever. I like to think I'm a better person because of those experiences. Got Jean going up a level. I love Mareep. It's just such an adorable Pokemon. There we get a potion. Very good. If we head over here by these docks, got a couple people here. My Pokemon, freshly caught. So these are fishermen. They tend to use mainly water-type Pokemon that can be caught with a rod and stuff. They're not too tough, especially if you have a grass and electric type. This Poliwag here can be tricky though, because it has Hypnosis, which can put you to sleep. Poliwag would actually be a pretty solid water type for the team, but I don't know. It's kind of awkward to evolve in this game, at least for me. Let's take out this thing. Kale should be able to handle this. Yeah, very good. Going back to what's been going on lately, I've been considering going to see Detective Pikachu later today, because I've just been really getting antsy about watching this movie. I really hope it's good. I've been hearing good things about it, so it'll be nice to finally get to experience it for myself. This guy here is Magikarp. It has laughably low stats, except for speed, and it only has one move until level 15, and that is Splash. Splash doesn't do anything, which makes Magikarp one of the worst battlers in the game. However, if you know anything about the Pokemon series up to this point, you probably know that Magikarp is actually pretty good if you keep hold of one for a while. It eventually gets better. Really, really good. So this Magikarp is actually level 15. It's higher level than anything else on my team, but again, its stats are so low that it's not doing too much damage. So I'm not too worried. One thing I would definitely like to get back to doing is playing more Pokemon Go. I know I did a lot of stuff when that one event where Bagon was insanely common, and I got a lot of stuff done then, so really like to do another Pokemon Go thing, but I don't know, the weather has been really bad lately. It's just been very cold and wet. So I'll probably find a good day when I can do it. But for now, I'm just kind of hanging in there, just waiting, biding my time. I'm a good angler, but an even better trainer. Yeah, I like to wager that. Ralph. So this guy is actually a trainer of interest on this route. When you beat him, he will ask for your phone number, and I highly recommend you take it. Mainly if you want to complete the Pokédex, because it's pretty helpful. Take that Goldeen. Goldeen are interesting because they can learn Peck very early on, which is handy for dealing with grass types that would normally do a lot to them. Nice. Kale just learned Reflect. That is a very good move. Part of what makes the... Oh. Hi, Hayden. How are you? I found a useful item while shopping, so I bought it with your money. Sorry, it's in your PC. You'll like it. So this is something that happens when your mother is... So when you have your mother hold your money, when you get certain milestones and have a certain amount of money, you can... your mother will buy you items and then put them in your PC, so definitely want to check on those. Alright, so you want to have Ralph's phone number because he can tell you when certain Pokemon become common. The second generation of games introduced a mechanic to the series called swarm encounters, where on certain days, Pokemon that are normally have like a 1% encounter rate suddenly shoot up to being very common. So if you want to complete your Pokedex, you'll definitely want to take advantage of those swarm encounters. And in fact, you can find out which days are good for finding those rare Pokemon by getting phone numbers from certain trainers in the world. It's a very nice mechanic, I say. So, Wooper here is the first water ground type Pokemon, and among those, it's an excellent typing. It's only weak to grass. So if you have a water ground type and keep it away from its weakness, they're very handy Pokemon. Pretty much all of them have very high defenses and pretty good moves, so you can definitely get a lot of good stuff done with them. What do we have here? Just a Bellsprout. Not too worried here. Though I am tempted to catch a Bellsprout just so I can use one as kind of an HM user. Because HMs are kind of lame in this game. I mean, there are a few good ones, but mostly you just want to have the HMs just to get past certain blockades. They're not really that useful in battle. So there we get a Great Ball. That has a higher chance of catching Pokemon than a normal Pokeball. It's another Mareep. Let's beat you up. That glance, it's intriguing. So, I don't know if you know, but I follow a channel called the Runaway Guys, which does a lot of Let's Play stuff. It's a group made up of three pretty common Let's Players. Chugga Conroy, Proton John, and Nintendo Capri's Sun, and they just do a lot of different video game playthroughs, and recently they wrapped up a playthrough of the first Pikmin game, which, it's a game I really like with its mechanics, and the way it's structured makes it a very good game for, like, speedrunning and trying to see what you can get done in such little amount of time. And it was quite interesting seeing John play the game for the first time and getting to fully experience it. But boy, he did not have a good time with it. He had pretty bad luck. Some mechanics just weren't working in his favor. And his constant issues with the camera just really messed him up. It's cool getting to see him experience this game, but at the same time I'm kind of sad that it soured his experience from the rest of the series, because I do really like the Pikmin games. How would you like to have this tasty, nutritious Slowpoke tail? For you right now, just $1 million. You'll want this? I can't afford that. You don't want it? Then scram. Shoo. Ooh, a great ball. Man, that guy has the tails of a Slowpoke. It's kind of sad. Hello there. This is a great fishing spot. You saw people fishing? How about you? Would you like one of my rods? Heh, that's good to hear. Now you're an angler too. By talking to this guy, we get the old rod, which can help us catch water Pokemon in any body of water. Unfortunately, the old rod is only capable of catching Magikarp, and I don't really want to use one for the team, so that's not getting used at all. What should I make my Pokemon hold? Maybe an item that increases attack power. I already have one of those. Let's check how the egg is doing. Now, it hasn't changed too much. Should be quite a while before this egg finally hatches. That badge, it's from Violet City. You beat Faulkner? Yes, I did. Peter, see what you got for me, buddy. Just a Pidgey. Okay. Halberd should have no problem here. So when it comes to Pidgey and Spearow, usually I'm on Team Spearow. Just because it's a little bit faster and a little bit stronger, but I do still like the Pidgey line too. I think they're both very good normal flying types. Of course, they still can't compete with Staraptor, who is like the best normal flying type ever. And then Toucannon is pretty close too. There's a lot of good Pokemon that they introduce in later games. Really do like how they try to differentiate all the new Pokemon from the previous ones. In a lot of the newer games. I'm really hoping to see some really good Pokemon for Sword and Shield. It's already been like 2 months since we've seen the last Sword and Shield trailer, and I just cannot wait to see more Pokemon. It's because I love these games so much. It's always exciting to get to see a new generation, and to get to finally have new experiences in a fresh new world, because I like replaying Pokemon games all the time, but even I can admit it can get exhausting at times. But anyway, it's time we head in here. So this is the Union Cave. It's the cave that unites the Violet City and Azalea town areas. Oh, what a surprise! I didn't expect to see anyone here. So this is a hiker. They tend to use rock and fighting type Pokemon. Let's see here with this Onix. So Onix is an interesting Pokemon. It is much faster than other rock type Pokemon you'll find in this game. And it has very good defense, but its other stats are pretty lacking, and sadly, its attack is also pretty low, so it's not really the best battler. But Onix is actually pretty valuable in this game because it can evolve into a really amazing Pokemon. Once you get the right setup for it, it's just so good. Like, Steelix is amazing. Has much better typing than Onix. Even higher defense. It trades some of its speed for more attack power, which is good. Just all around a very great tank and attacker. Ooh, a potion. Very nice. It's a shame I don't have any way to stream my DS games, or I would definitely like to show off what Steelix can do. Because it'd be good to play Platinum or Heart Gold and Soul Silver, just to kind of show that stuff. I know, I really do want to get a thing from my 3DS. Now that the 3DS is kind of dead as far as Nintendo is going, so I think it'd be alright to send my spare 3DS to someone who could get it modified for stuff, because I just really want to play these games. I got so many DS and 3DS games. Like, I got 2 shelves in my closet devoted just to those games, and I love them so much. And obviously, like, half of the games I have are Pokémon. I can't help it, I love this series so much. But anyway, we got Geodudes here. They're rock and ground, which means they're very weak to grass and water. Kale just decimates them. And he got a crit. It's very good. Razor Leaf is actually really good because it has a higher chance of scoring a critical than most other attacks. So it's definitely a desirable factor to picking Chikorita. Gets this move very early on, and it just decimates foes. Got another Geodude. Of course, Chikorita has some other issues that I'll be going into a bit later, but it's still a Pokemon that I do like, even if it has its fair share of problems. Personally, Cyndaquil is my favorite starter in the Johto region, and I would have definitely liked to use one, but I had already used a fire type as my starter in my previous stream, so I figured I wanted to keep things varied and experiment with different Pokemon. So this is a Sandshrew. It's a pure ground type Pokemon focusing in attack and defense. It's a pretty decent Pokemon, all things considered. It's actually one of my favorite ground type Pokemon, along with Flygon and Mudsdale. There's a lot of good ground type Pokemon, and Sandshrew is definitely a good ground type. Also evolves very early, so you can get a very solid ground type just so quickly in this game. But I got my Geodude to handle all my ground stuff. That's just fine by me. So Halberd just learned Fury Attack. It has 15 power, but can attack 2 to 5 times, which is a little bit better than Peck, honestly. I don't know, I'm not really that much of a fan of the 2 to 5 attacks. Until later gens, when they started adding some attacks that do a lot more damage and can hit 5 times. Especially if you got a Pokemon with the ability that makes it so that they always attack 5 times. That's good. Now here we have Coughing. It's a poison-type Pokemon that's very strong in attack and defense, I'd like to say. Many poison-type Pokemon, especially the Coughing line, specialize in inflicting the poison status on your Pokemon, which will drain health at the end of your turn. Coughing is also interesting in that it's one of the few Pokemon able to learn Self-Destruct, which automatically KOs the user, but also deals devastating damage to the opponent. So Coughing can be pretty handy just to deal a lot of damage, and also just really inconvenience your opponent's team. It also has a pretty decent special move pool overall, so Coughing is definitely one of the better poison types you can find in this game. I flamed out! And if you know anything about Chugga Conroy's previous playthroughs, he actually managed to obtain a shiny Coughing in his Crystal Let's Play, and he used it on his team. He was actually planning to use Coughing on his team, and finding that shiny was just amazing. And I hope I do find a shiny in this playthrough. I didn't find one at all in Leaf Green, and I would definitely like to get some better luck around here. Who knows? There is at least one shiny in this game that you're required to encounter, but I don't know, it just kind of dampens the whole mood when it's a one you're 100% guaranteed to encounter. It's not really something I've really gone into too much, but just shiny Pokemon is so cool. And unfortunately, this game, they're very rare. Like, you have a 1 in over 8,000 chance of ever encountering one in the wild. But it can definitely be worth it if you do go out for it. Actually, I think in this game, shiny Pokemon, because it's determined by the individual values of your Pokemon, your IVs. So sometimes shiny Pokemon can be actually a lot worse than what you would normally see. And in later generations, shiny Pokemon are calculated by different values that don't involve your Pokemon's stats. So you're more likely to find a shiny Pokemon with actually good stats. But I don't know, I like to hunt for some shiny Pokemon in my own files. Especially in a lot of the newer games where they buffed the shiny rate and also introduced ways that you can encounter shinies a lot faster, such as using Poke Radar, or going into Horde battles, or getting SOS encounters. Just been really fun. I actually got a lot of shinies with the SOS system in Sun and Moon. Like, I've got so many that way. I have a shiny Mudsdale, a shiny Lurantis, a shiny Serena, and a shiny Mimikyu that I all caught from chaining SOS encounters, and they're just amazing. I love those Pokemon. It was really cool getting their shinies, finally. Gina's actually getting very good level. She is very close to evolving. So is Kale, really. Which will be nice, so we'll have to draw some fan art for their new forms eventually. TM39. I forget what this TM is. I know in Heart Gold and Soul Silver you find... Oh, it's Swift. Yeah, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver you would find the TM for Rock Tomb here. Swift is a 60 base power normal type attack that has 100% accuracy. It will always hit no matter what. That'd actually be a really good move for Halberd. Since Halberd's part normal type, he gets the stab bonus from it, and honestly, he doesn't really learn that many good normal type attacks. So I think I'll actually go for this. I don't really plan on catching another normal type for the team, so yeah, let's do this. Now let's see, Fury Attack does 15 normally, so and times 5, that would be actually be around 60. So I'm pretty equivalent in power, but Swift will just generally be a lot more helpful. So let's get rid of Fury Attack. And there we have Swift. It's actually a very good attack that a lot of Pokemon can know. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. It's definitely a really good attack to have this early on in the game. Hello, Zubat. Alright, let's test out this new move. Oh yeah, that hits so hard. Good work, Halberd. You're definitely getting good. Well, he's always been good. He's getting better, I would say. Still can't handle Geodudes very well. But that's why we have Kale. I really like this team so far because we cover each other's weaknesses so well. It's like when dealing with the ground types that Jean and Halberd would have trouble with, we could send out Kale to deal with them. If we're encountering a grass or water type, that would be bad for Ruby, we can go to either Halberd or Jean to deal with them. I'm really pleased with this team. It's very balanced. Hello, Sandshrew. Alright, let's test how Swift does against Sandshrew. It's a very defensive Pokemon, so it might not KO. Still did very good damage. It's very nice. It's over here. Wonder what we got. We're almost done this cave, so we'll be in Azalea Town very shortly. Now this guy's got a Geodude. Let's go over to Kale. Alright, that's good. And we got a Awakening. That will awaken Pokemon who have been put to sleep. And last trainer of this area. If it's light, a cave isn't scary. If you're strong, Pokemon aren't scary. Yep. Another Fire Breather. It's kind of like how the Fire Breathers in this game are just clowns. I like breathe fire for fun. And here he's got a Vulpix. It's a pretty decent fire-type Pokemon. It's good speed and a good special defense. It can also learn a lot of tricky attacks, such as Will-O-Wisp and Confuse Ray, that most other fire-type Pokemon don't learn, so it's all around pretty good. Flash! Ah, my eyes! It's my Pokemon's fire that lights up this cave. Aw, thanks, buddy. Although, given that I just got Flash, that'd be kind of redundant, then. Hello, Geodude. I know I could run for these battles, but I also want my Pokemon to be higher leveled because we do have a gym battle coming up. And I actually think we're going to be fine if we're a little under-leveled, but I just want everyone to be strong because there's still some very tough battles coming up. Route 33. There's a Poison Cure Berry. Very nice. Hello, sir. I came for the tunnel, but I still have plenty of energy left. Alright, then show me what you got, bro. Hiker Anthony. He's got a Geodude. Alright, Kale, you'll be up for this. Man, Kale might actually evolve in this session, which will be very nice. So get even more defensive and more strong when he evolves. Ooh, that'll be good. Alright, Halberd leveled up. Gale gets some more experience. Then we go with Machop. Halberd's looking a little low, but we'll try using him against Machop. So Machop is a fighting type Pokemon. His main emphasis in attack, but has pretty good stats all around too. If you want a solid physical attacker, Machop's definitely a good option. Halberd's really cutting it close there. Whoa, boy, you've got more zip! I don't really know if Anthony's gonna be a good person to call. Like, I know I can delete phone numbers later, so we'll just register him anyway. Good. At long last, we've arrived in Azalea Town. It's unsafe to go in there, so I'm standing guard. Aren't I a good Samaritan? I guess so. The Slowpoke have disappeared from town. I heard their tails are being sold somewhere. Oh dear. There's no Great Ball here. Pokeballs will have to do. I wish Kurt would make me some of his custom balls. A Great Ball's better for catching Pokemon than a Pokeball, but Kurt's might be better sometimes. Oh no, they are not. It's got a charcoal there for a very steep price. Let's buy some more Pokeballs because we don't have... I don't think we have a lot right now. We get Super Potions now, which is nice. Save that for later. All the Slowpoke have disappeared from the town. The Forest Protector may be angry with us. Maybe a bad omen. We should stay in. Where have all the Slowpoke gone? Are they out playing somewhere? Quack! Well said. Did you come to get Kurt to make some balls? A lot of people do just that. Do you know about Slowpoke Tail? I heard it's tasty. Aren't you glad I told you that? So that guy's cutting off access to the gym, and I don't really stand for that. Cut through Azalea, and you'll be in Ilex Forest. But these skinny trees make it impossible to get through. The Charcoal Man's Pokemon can cut down trees. So that's interesting. Seems we can't progress for the forest until we get cut. So we'll save the forest for later. We hope to see you again. Yep. Do you know about apricorns? Crack one open, hollow it out, and fit it with a special device. Then you can catch Pokemon with it. Before Pokeballs were invented, everyone used apricorns. Bill's PC can store up to 20 Pokemon per box. You understand, NHM moves? Those moves can be used even if your Pokemon is fainted. Yeah, that's kind of a humorous image, like, hey, Tentacruel, use Surf. Bleh. Good. I don't know, it's weird. How's the progress on the egg? Ooh, it's actually pretty close to hatching. So we might actually see it hatch today. So I've been hearing people talk about this Kurt person, so let's head up here. Who are you? Hey, Danae, you want me to make some balls? Sorry, but I'll have to wait. Do you know Team Rocket? Don't worry, I'll tell you anyhow. Team Rocket's an evil gang that uses Pokémon for their dirty work. They're supposed to have disbanded 3 years ago. Anyway, they're at the well cutting off Slowpoke tails for sale. So I'm gonna go give them a lesson in pain. Hang on, Slowpoke, old Kurt is on his way.
Grandpa's gone. I'm so lonely.
So apparently Team Rocket is back. So, if you don't know, Pokemon Gold and Silver actually take place 3 years after the events of Red and Blue. And in that time, we managed to defeat Team Rocket, so seeing them come back after all this time is pretty interesting. Got a pretty solid team, so we should be good to take on the Rockets. So remember that well we saw over here? Let's go down. Hey there, Hayden. The guards up top took off when I shouted at them, but then I took a tumble down the well. I slammed down hard on my back so I can't move. Rats, if I were fit, my Pokemon would have punished them. It can't be helped. Hayden, show him how gutsy you are in my place. So this is the Slowpoke well, and Team Rocket is taking control of it in order to use the Slowpokes to make money. It's time we take down their operations, set to some awesome battle music. Gold and Silver is actually the first game to give a unique theme to the villainous teams, and I definitely welcome it. This is a great battle theme. Seriously, I love that theme. It is so good.
Stop taking tails. Yeah, just try to defeat all of us.
I will. Team Rocket's finally hiring girls now. Well, it's not too inaccurate, because we did see female Rockets in the post-game of Leaf Green. But this is the first game in the series to actually introduce female grunts. Here we got Ekans. It's an alright poison type all around. Its main draw is that it's capable of learning a move called Glare, which can paralyze your opponent. Very nice.
You rotten brat!
Super Potion. Super Potions restore 50 HP, so at this point, it's a very good healing item to have. Quit taking Slowpoke tails. If we obeyed you, Team Rocket's rep would be ruined. I don't know, man. Team Rocket's reputation has already seen a massive decline just from the fact that you have Jesse and James on your team. What am I saying? Jesse and James are the best parts of Team Rocket. Like, I don't care what you say, they're some of the best characters in the whole anime. Alright, Jean's very close now. Let's see what happens here. Ha, nice try. Yeah, but Jean's just gonna go to town on these Zubat. Love having an electric type, and the Mareep line is definitely among my favorites. Check out Zubat 2. Just too strong! Okay, it should be one more level when the good thing starts to happen. A Slowpoke with its tail cut off. Huh? It has mail. Be good and look after the house with Grandpa and Slowpoke. Love, Dad. Aw. Hello there. What do you want? If you interrupt our work, don't expect any mercy. So this guy that we're seeing right here, he's just a normal grunt in this game. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they actually make this guy a high-ranking member of Team Rocket. He's an executive class trainer, and he actually gets a name in Heart Gold and Soul Silver too. His name is being Proton. So I think it's really cool that they added a lot more to Team Rocket in later gens by giving the executives a bit more of a personality and their own unique designs, which I definitely appreciate. Helps make the organization feel a little more organized. That, we take down that coughing. It's actually pretty high level. You did okay today, brat, but wait till next time. Yeah, Team Rocket was broken up 3 years ago, but we continued our activities underground. Now you can have fun watching us stir up trouble. Way to go, Hayden! Team Rocket is taking off. My back's better too. Let's get out of here. Hi, Hayden. You handled yourself like a real hero at the well. I like your style. I would be honored to make balls for a trainer like you. This is all I have now, but take it. So we get a lure ball from Kurt. I make balls and apricorns. Collect them from trees and bring them to me. I'll make balls out of them.
Slowpoke my dad gave me came back. Its tail's growing back too.
That's good to hear. Now, as Kurt said, he is able to make Pokeballs for us using apricorns, which we can harvest from trees like this. But in this game, I do not recommend going for Kurt's apricorn balls. Because due to some programming oversights, his Pokeballs work under very strange methods that do not work the way they are intended to, and just overall, I prefer getting Great Balls and Ultra Balls over using anything Kurt makes. In this game, at least. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, his balls work perfectly fine. But in this game, just don't go for them. I'm only saying this because I love you. Now it's time to take on a gym. Yo, Challenger! Bugsy's young, but his knowledge of bug Pokemon is for real. It's gonna be tough without my advice. Let's see, bug Pokemon don't like fire. Flying type moves are super effective too. So finally going up against Bugsy, the first bug-type gym leader in the series. So over here we got twins, Amy and May. There's something that gets expanded on later in the series, but it's interesting how you got essentially two people who are fighting you at the same time. Later games would have made these two a double battle, where you fight two Pokemon at the same time, using two of your Pokemon. And overall, I just like the double battle mechanic. It adds a lot of strategy into the series. But in this game, we only have to deal with them sequentially. Instead of fighting both Spinarak and Ladybug at the same time, we only get to fight one at a time.
Oh, double goodness.
You did good, Halberd. Time to get Ruby some experience. Especially because, just like in the previous gym, Ruby's gonna be my star player here. Just another reason why I love using Geodude in this game. It has an advantage against so many of the gyms early on. It's amazing. Hello, Josh. You got a Paris. That's a bug grass type. Would be tricky, but because it has a lot of status ailments, but doesn't really learn too many grass attacks. So I'll just take it out. Squash those bugs like bugs. Bug Pokemon evolve young, so they get stronger that much faster. What have you got for me, Benny? Weedle. Again, Weedle's a Pokemon that you can only obtain in Silver version. Well, you can only obtain them in Silver version normally. There is another way we can get them in this game, I believe, but it's not going to be for a while. And here we got Kakuna, the evolution of Weedle. Goes down very easily. Getting Ruby up another level. And then finally we have Beedrill. It's actually one of my favorite bug types. It just looks so cool. And in later generations, it's actually a pretty good attacker. In this game, its moveset's not really the best. Take that out. Giving Ruby a lot more experience. Ooh, man.
Just evolving isn't enough.
No, it's not. Kale's not going to be too good here. But I would like to get you some experience. We still got one more person to fight before the gym leader, and I don't think they have anything too bad.
Bug Pokemon are cool and tough. I'll prove it to you.
You don't need to prove anything, cause personally, I really love the bug type. It's my second favorite type overall. Sure, it has its weaker members, but the bug types that are good are really good. Like, pretty much all the bug types introduced in Generation 5 are definitely up there for my favorites in the series. Just Leavanny, Scolipede, Galvantula, Crustle, Volcarona, Excelgor, and Escavalier. There are just so many amazing bug types in that game. It's not to say that Gold and Silver don't have amazing bugs. We will be getting to see some very soon. I'm probably not going to add them to my team, but, you know. Right, Kale's moving up to 15. Poison Powder, that's very nice. So I want to get rid of Growl for that. With Poison Powder, Kale will be able to inflict status ailments on enemies now. That'll be helpful. let's go for Jean now. Because Jean also needs some levels. So she can get the special thing that I've been waiting for. So excited, she's so close. Ah, geez, one more battle would do it. You proved how tough you are. I might actually lead with Jean against the gym leader, just to see if she can get that extra experience points. Alright, but we are pretty much good to go against the gym leader. Our team is around the level I wanted to be for this place. So I'll just heal up. Also, as a quick warning, after beating Team Rocket, do not take the path to Ilex Forest right away. Because something will happen, and if you're not prepared for it, it can lead to bad times. But now it's time to fight the gym leader. And we've already been playing this game for like 3 hours. Oh, we're making pretty good time, all things considered.
I'm Bugsy. I never lose when it comes to bug Pokemon. My research is gonna make me the authority on bug Pokemon. Let me demonstrate what I've learned from my studies.
The very first bug gym leader in the series, it's Bugsy. Bugsy leads off with Metapod. It would make more sense to me if he led with Butterfree, but whatever. This Metapod can actually be a little tricky because it does know Tackle. But Jean got that really lucky critical, so this thing is gonna go down very quickly. And Jean is level 15, yes! It's so good. Now Bugsy's going with Kakuna. Huh. It's not what I was expecting you to use. But anyway, Kakuna, it's like Metapod, except it knows Poison Sting. Pretty much, his Cocoon Pokemon are just there to kind of wear you down, lower your speed stat using a String Shot, and also try to inflict poison on you before Bugsy can send out his ace in the hole. It's kind of awkward. Would have preferred if he used a Butterfree or a Beedrill, but whatever. But anyway, let's go for Ruby here. Because Bugsy's final Pokemon is Cypher, a very powerful bug-flying type Pokemon. It gets a little better in later games, but still a very solid Pokemon in Gold and Silver. He's using Fury Cutter, which is a pretty interesting bug-type move, but with a Rock Throw, we take it out. This is why I love Geodude in this game. It just destroys both of the first gyms in this game. It's so good. And we're learning Magnitude.
Whoa, amazing! You're an expert on Pokemon. My research isn't complete yet. Okay, you win. Take this badge.
And finally, Jean is evolving. She's standing on 2 legs, and she lost a bit of wool, but Jean's evolved into Flaffy. It's just so cute. I love the Flaffy.
Do you know the benefits of Hive Badge? If you have it, Pokemon up to level 30 will obey you. Pokemon that know Cut will be able to use it outside of battle too. Here, I also want you to have this.
So what Bugsy's saying is not lying. if you went for the Onyx trade in Violet City, after level 10, the Onyx will stop obeying you and will just do whatever it wants, which can be kind of a hassle. But after you beat Bugsy, it'll go back to following your orders until you reach level 30. Kind of an interesting mechanic just to keep you from pretty much over-leveling your traded Pokemon, which isn't really that easy considering that all traded Pokemon gain more experience points. But whatever. At the very least, we managed to clear another gym. And let's take a look at my girl now. She's looking so cute. I just love Flappy. And she's a lot stronger now. That's very good. Ruby got a lot of levels taking out that Cypher. Very, very proud of this team. So we've only been playing for an hour, so why don't we keep going? Like, I know during Leaf Green I would usually either begin or end a stream on a gym battle, but for this we've done pretty good about what I usually consider half the time for a stream. But yeah, we can go probably another hour. This egg's very close to hatching, which is very good. Alright. So we got nowhere else we can really go. We can't go any farther into the Slowpoke well until we get some more moves. So we still can't go over to Goldenrod from the Violet City path, so it's time to finally go into Ilex Forest. Tell me something. Is it true that Team Rocket has returned? What? You beat them? Quit lying. You're not joking? Then let's see how good you are. Our rival returns once more. It's Silver. And he apparently has some beef with Team Rocket. See, starting things off here with Ghastly, a ghost poison type. And this thing is tricky. It learns a lot of status moves. Like that Hypnosis there, that'll be just very inconvenient. Let's actually wake up. I know I got that awakening. Spite is interesting in that it will lower the power points of the last move your opponent used. Kind of inconvenient, especially if we got moves with very low power points. We take that thing out. It's going for Zubat. So let's use our newly evolved Flaffy. Oh, she's so cute! Sorry, just can't help myself. The Mareep are among my favorite Pokemon of all time. And just Flaffy is really cute. It's one of the few intermediate stages of an evolutionary line that I think is so amazing. But now... let's go to Ruby here. Because Silver's sending out his starter, Quilava. Depending on what you chose your starter, he would also be using either a Bayleaf or a Croconaw here. Quilava is very fast and very strong with its fire attacks. So I'm going to test out our new move here, Magnitude. It's a ground-type attack that works kind of like Earthquake. Except that Magnitude... it varies on the power of the attack. Pretty much you can have anywhere between Magnitude 4 which is the weakest, and magnitude 10, which is pretty much Earthquake in terms of power. So overall, it's a decent ground type attack to have this early on. The varied attack power is kind of lame, but overall it's not too bad. Useless Pokemon. Listen, you only won because my Pokemon were weak. Jeez, he's a gracious loser. I hate the weak. Pokemon trainers, it doesn't matter who or what. I'm gonna be strong and wipe out the weak. That goes for Team Rocket too. They act big and tough in a group, but get them alone, and they're weak. I hate them all. You stay out of my way. A weakling like you's only a distraction. He's a friendly fellow, isn't he? Hayden, howdy, it's me, Ralph. Isn't it nice out? How your Pokemon doing? My Goldine's really energetic. It's a handful. Hey, listen, I almost caught Rattata the other day. Oh, was so close to. See you later. Good to know, buddy. Good to know. So yep, that was our second battle with our rival. It went pretty well, all things considered. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, that battle's much tougher because they buffed his levels up a little bit. Like, his starter Pokemon is 18 instead of 16, and that level difference just really makes it a tougher fight. But anyway, it's time we move on. Still got another 15 minutes before we hit the 2-hour mark. The forest is watched over by its protector. Stay out of mischief. This is Ilex Forest. It has no grass here, but it works like a cave in that you can encounter wild Pokemon just anywhere you step. Aw man, my boss is gonna be steaming. The Farfetch that cuts trees for charcoal took off on me. I can't go looking for it here in the Ilex Forest. It's too big, dark, and scary for me. So we got a quest here. We need to find this Farfetch'd and try to bring it back. Unfortunately, it will run away any chance it gets. So you need to guide it through this area. I think if we move it down here. Oh, hello, Caterpie. Yeah, as you can tell from the wild Pokemon levels here, just wild Pokemon are so weak in the Johto region. Like, the last trainer we fought had a level 16 Pokemon, and we're still finding things that are like level 5. Just kind of a pet peeve I have with Johto in general. Alright, see if we can push you down here. There we go. Wow, thanks a whole bunch. My boss Pokemon won't obey me because I don't have a badge. Really? I encounter something now? Oh, hello, Zubat. Let's swift you. Ah, my Farfetch'd. You found it for us, kid. Without it, we wouldn't be able to cut trees for charcoal. Thanks, kid. Now, how can I thank you? I know. Here, take this. We get HM1, which allows us to cut down trees. Kale's the only one on the team who can use this move. I don't really need Tackle. That takes care of that. Now that we've done that, I actually want to head back to Azalea. Because for doing that quest, we can now obtain something back in Azalea Town. Chase off Team Rocket and went to Ilex Forest alone? That takes guts. I like that. Come train with us. I'm sorry, I forgot to thank you. This is charcoal that I made. Fire-type Pokemon be happy to hold that. And we get charcoal for doing this quest. It increases Fire-type moves of the held Pokemon by a little bit. I don't have any Fire Pokemon right now, but we may see some use for it later. We'll see. Let's heal up and then we'll head back into the forest. Ilex Forest is not really that long. I just wish it was a little bit more interesting because Pokemon are so low leveled and it's all stuff we've seen before. Just a bunch of caterpillars and cocoons and bats. Halbert's close to a level up. Very nice. And we got another Caterpie. Ilex Forest Shrine. It's in honor of the Forest Protector. Now, normally, this shrine doesn't really do anything. However, if you're playing Crystal, there's a certain event you can do where you obtain an item called a GS Ball. And if you bring it to the shrine, you can encounter an exclusive wild Pokemon. It's a mythical Pokemon known as Celebi, which is Psychic Grass type. And it's all around very decent. It's just that the main thing with Celebi is that it's kind of hard to obtain. And back in the older days, at least in like the current releases of Crystal on the Nintendo eShop, at least they make it easier to obtain there, which I think is good. But back in the day, trying to get a Celebi was like really challenging. Heart Gold and Soul Silver also did an event with Celebi. You couldn't catch it, but you were given a Celebi over Wi-Fi connection, and it was actually interesting because they added an event where you could use your Celebi in order to go back in time, in order to get some context about some stuff that happened before and during the game's events. I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty interesting. Super Potion, very nice. Just want to head over down here.
Hello, sir. What am I doing? I'm shaking trees using Headbutt. It's fun. Here, you try it too. So this man gives us a TM for a move called Headbutt. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, this guy's replaced with a tutor who can teach Headbutt indefinitely to any Pokemon on your team. And Headbutt's all around a solid attack. It's normal type, has 70 base power and chance to flinch, and can be learned by a lot of Pokemon, so it's definitely very handy to put on your teams at this point in the game, as it's usually a lot stronger than any attacks your Pokemon would normally have. But the main draw of Headbutt, in this game at least, is you can use it on these small trees here, and you can shake out wild Pokemon from the trees. Stuff like Hoot Hoot and stuff. There's actually a few good Pokemon you can get with this, but don't really plan on using any of them on my team. Oh, an Ether. That's good. Stores the power points of a Pokemon. So, almost done the forest. We finally reached the exit. Blech, good riddance. Did you see the shrine honoring the Protector? It watches over the forest from across time. I think it must be a grass-type Pokemon. Grass sidekick, technically. Oh, honey, you're making a Pokedex? Must be hard if Pokemon won't appear. Try using this TM. And for that, we get TM12, which contains Sweet Scent. Sweet Scent is a move that decreases the evasiveness of your opponent, making them easier to hit. But used out of battle and in tall grass, you can use it to encounter Pokemon whenever you want, which is pretty interesting if you don't feel like moving around too much in the grass. But for now, let's get back to moving here. This is where I do my training. So we're on Route 34, and this place actually has a few points of interest, and a lot more trainers. So for now, let's go take these guys out. Come on, level 7? We just fought someone who had a level 16! Why are things so low level? Again, I do like the Johto games, but they have their issues. And the very low level curve is definitely one of the issues I have. Come on, Gene, should take this out. Very good. Alright, that should take Sandshrew out. Nice, we got a crit. Very nice. And Kale reaches level 16. Very good. Spearow. Let's go for Gene again. Very good. And now, Kale is evolving. Now, the Johto starters are pretty interesting in that each one has different levels where they evolve at.
For example, Chikorita evolves at level 16, which is usually the standard. But Cyndaquil evolves early at level 14, and Totodile evolves later at level 18. So it's another good thing that kind of makes the starter Pokemon selection more strategic is if you want your Pokemon to evolve to their second stage much sooner. That's a lot of different stuff that makes the starter Pokemon in this generation a little more interesting than in later games, when they tend to evolve at the same level. Helps keep things very diverse. I just got my Pokemon back from daycare. Let's see how much stronger it got. So this is Snubbull. It's a normal type Pokemon that later got retyped to Fairy in Generation 6. It's a strong physical attacker that evolves pretty early. If you want a good damage dealer, Snubbull is pretty good. You have a berry, very nice. Takes you out. Why does it end this way? I don't know, man, if only your Pokemon were higher leveled. But Johto experience curve, am I right? Hang on. Okay, it looks like things are good on Twitch again. Yep, okay. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Okay, we should be good to continue. I'm the best in my class at Pokemon! Yeah, let's see. Youngster Ian. Halberd should easily be able to handle this. But Mankey is still a pretty tough opponent. As demonstrated in my Leaf Green playthrough, Mankey are very fast and very strong fighting type Pokemon. In fact, it's one of the fastest fighting types in this game. So definitely has that going for it. However, it does have low HP and defenses, so yeah. And there we saw very briefly a Diglett. It's a ground type Pokemon with low HP and defenses, but it's very fast and strong. I'm trying hard so I can be the star in my class. Try harder, kid. And we see this girl here. Are you a trainer? Let's have a practice battle. So this trainer is kind of interesting because in Crystal, when you beat this trainer, she'll offer you her phone number. And in Crystal version, she has a chance of calling you, and she'll tell you to come look for her, and when you talk to her, she'll give you a very good item called a Leaf Stone, which can be used to evolve certain Pokemon. Unfortunately, I do not think this works in Gold or Silver, so that's kind of annoying. You can still do it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, though, which is nice. Very briefly there, we saw a Bulbasaur, one of the Kanto starter Pokemon. It's all around very good, but you cannot obtain them normally in this game. I took out the Hoppip, getting Halberd to level 17. Oh no, I just can't win. No, you can't. battles to go here. Now, this is actually a very important place to note. I'm the daycare man. You know about eggs? I was raising Pokemon with my wife, you see. We were shocked to find an egg. How incredible is that? So want me to raise a Pokemon? Come again.
I'm the daycare lady. Do you know about eggs? My husband and I were raising some Pokemon, you see. We were shocked to find an egg. How incredible could that be? Should raise a Pokemon for you.
What do you want this time, Ralph? It's me, Ralph. It's amazing! On Route 32, Quillfish are biting like there's no tomorrow. Hayden, bring your rod, buddy. See you later. Okay, that was what I was talking about swarm encounters. So we go back to Route 32, but I don't think I have the right rod to catch Quillfish. I could probably check later. But pretty much, when you got swarm encounters, you can encounter Pokemon that would normally be very rare. And Quillfish would be interesting this early on. Don't think I can catch it, though. But as I was saying before I was being interrupted, the Pokemon Daycare is a very interesting mechanic introduced in Generation 2. So essentially, you got some people who can raise your Pokemon for you. If you deposit Pokemon with these people, and for every step you take, your Pokemon will gain 1 experience point. And eventually, you can get your Pokemon to level up this way. So if you want a Pokemon to be trained up while you're busy doing stuff with your team, you can go and do that. However, the daycare has an interesting mechanic called breeding, where if you leave 2 compatible Pokemon, one has to be male, one has to be female, and they need to be in a specific egg group together. If you have those conditions met, then the Pokemon you leave at the daycare can have a chance of laying an egg. And then you can use those eggs to hatch more Pokemon. And there are some Pokemon in this game that can only be obtained by breeding. So it's a cool mechanic that they introduce here. It gets fleshed out a lot more in later generations, where they improve the breeding mechanics a whole lot more. But yeah, it's pretty much a good way to... Well, it's pretty much a mandatory way to fill up your Pokedex. And also just breed up a lot of Pokemon that are very high rarity to trade them with your friends. I know, it's a cool mechanic. I'm glad they introduced it into the series here. I'm on patrol for suspicious individuals. I'm confident in my ability to raise Pokemon. Wanna see? Not really. But whatever. Camper Todd. Psyduck. It's a water-type Pokemon with all-around good stats. There's pretty much a lot to say about Psyduck. Well, besides the fact that it's one of the few water-type Pokemon that actually learn psychic attacks, which can be very helpful. Thank you for the money, Todd. And with that, we finally reach Goldenrod City, the next step in our Johto journey. And you know what? It's been about an hour and a half. We finally reached the next area where another gym is. I think I'm going to call it here. Also because Goldenrod is the largest city in the Johto region. So I want to take the time to fully explore this place once we've... in another stream. Just so we'll have more time to kind of go over everything in this area. Alright, with that said, next time on Pokemon Gold, we will be exploring Goldenrod City. Seeing what it has to offer, and then taking on the gym. Have a good day, and take care.